So I apologize if we do go off again. The signal has been coming and going today. It should be all right. We've got data and we've got Wi-Fi here. Yeah. So I've just got a couple of other quotes to read you. Let's start out with...
you at the forgiveness is me, the ex-prisoner.
Ah, okay. So to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was me. So that's a beautiful quote, and that was by Louis B. Smedis. And then Mahatma Gandhi said, the weak can never forget or forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. And another one by Oscar Wilde, he had this wry sense of humor, and he said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. so forgive to actually annoy your enemies. How about that one? And a lovely one from Maya Angelou. She says, you can't forgive without loving. And I don't mean sentimentality. I don't mean mush. I mean having enough courage to stand up and say, I forgive. I am finished with it. It's a releasing. And the last one I want to read here is by Ilana Fasant. If you know who she is, amazing woman. She's been up and down in her life, had a lot of trauma in her life. She's the mentor to Oprah. And she says the remedy for life's broken pieces is not classes, workshops, or books. Don't try to heal the broken pieces. Just forgive. In other words, to let go. So when we think of forgive, quite often when we think of forgiveness, we think forgiveness is something that we do to another. We've got to go and forgive someone else. And I say, well, maybe there's a better way of looking at it. Forgiveness is just to release, just to drop it, just to stop carrying it around with you. So forgiveness is not necessarily something you do to someone else. You're not setting them free. You're actually setting yourself free. So forgiveness is something you do to lighten your load, to release that which blocks you from freedom, that which blocks you from the joy of living this moment. Because when you're carrying around yesterday with you, how can you live today? How can you love today? How can you experience the freshness and the newness of today? How can you fully enjoy the present moment when you're carrying yesterday with you?
You can't.
You can't. You really can't. Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you're doing very well.
Okay. So,
but I do think that people might be sort of saying to themselves, well, how do you just forgive? If somebody's done terrible things to you, how do you actually just forgive?
Yeah.
And I mean, in my experience, there's been things that have taken longer and things that have sort of got to a point where I've just said, this is just too much to carry. It's too much of a struggle. And it's blocking my light on every level. I have to let it go. And when I've let it go, it's been an enormous liberation. Like you can literally feel it in that moment. I'm sure some of you felt that. I'd love to see in the comments what you felt when you've actually let go. And for me, it's just it's a statement. It's a commitment that you're letting this go. So when your mind goes back to that, it doesn't grab you anymore. Something magical happens when you actually make the commitment to drop it. And what happens with me when I do that is that very shortly after I make that commitment, it's followed by a feeling of compassion to the person. Not condoning necessarily, but a feeling of compassion that they possibly can't treat me the way that I would like to be treated, or that we made an agreement karmically for them to do exactly what they did. So there's a level of acceptance, and then there's compassion, and then it's very easy to let it go.
Yeah.
Because the forgiveness comes from believing that this person did something they shouldn't have done and that you're a victim, or it should be different.
Correct.
So it's the expectation or the resentment that it shouldn't have been like that. It shouldn't have happened. So you're resisting what happened, and so that's what drags you back into the past. So then it does go back to being in the present, because that's the place that you forgive in the moment.
Yeah, it's the shouldn't have happened, That's the
Shouldn't
big
have
one.
happened.
And the person we most need to forgive is ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to forgive ourselves, and we need to forgive ourselves every single day. In fact, we need to forgive ourselves every moment. Every time we step away from the present moment, when we come back to it, forgive yourself for slipping away from the present moment. Forgive yourself for going into those thoughts. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. So the greatest key that I can give you tonight, that I can share with you, is the foundation stone of forgiveness. And we all live our lives through perceptual maps. And these are not real. I mean, no map is real. It's just a map of reality. So we have these certain maps of reality in our mind. And I would suggest that we look at these maps and we say, well, do they serve me in this moment? Does the map that we live in a random universe and I just happen to do certain things and certain things just happen to me and they shouldn't have happened, does that map take you into a place of peace and forgiveness? And if it doesn't, well, maybe you need to look at replacing that map. So the map that I would suggest we start to work with tonight, if you want freedom, if you want joy, if you want life, if you want connection, then maybe we need to work with a new map, and this is the map. Everything is perfect. Everything that's ever happened to you has been a process of bringing about balance to you and to the others, to the universe. The universe is always in a process of trying to come back to equilibrium. And so when we do something that is unkind, even in that, there is a mechanism of balance to come back to balance. And where is the balancing point? Always the present moment. Not the yesterday present moment, but this present moment. When something has happened to you that has been harmful to you, it in itself was also a balancing act. So if we have a belief that the universe is random, then things just randomly happen to us, and they shouldn't have happened to us. If we have the belief that everything is unfolding according to a magnificent tapestry that's way beyond my comprehension, and this tapestry is always coming back to balance, then everything that I have done that I perceived of as wrong, and I'm carrying guilt, actually was there to bring balance to me and to bring balance to the other. And everything that's ever been done to me that I felt was wrong was actually trying to bring balance back to me. And people might reject that and say, no, that's nonsense. But you've got to ask yourself a question: what do you really want? Do you want to carry this around with you, or do you want peace? If peace is what you want, change your mind about your life. Change your mind about what's happened to you in life. So I had some challenging situations happen to me very early on in life, very early. And I chose not to carry that around with me as an imbalance. I knew very young that there is nothing out of balance. And so I chose never to blame my childhood, never to blame my parents for who I am. I chose to release the past. And because of that, I believe I don't carry the deep emotional scars that I may have carried from those situations. We are the creator of our current experience. And part of us has been unconscious in creating pain and suffering. Forgive that part of you that was unconscious, that created the pain and suffering. And forgive the unconsciousness in others that created the pain and suffering. No one would do anything harmful to you if they knew who they were. If they knew they were a magnificent spark of the divine. If they knew they were love. They could not have done what they did to you. And the same with you. If you knew your own magnificence, your own purity, you could not have done unkind things to others. So it was ignorance in you and in others that created the harm in the first place. They were unconscious when they did what they did to you. You were unconscious when you did what you did to them. And forgiveness is the key. If peace is what you want, if joy is what you want, if you want to be a light unto the world, forgive. Forgive is the key to unlock a new earth. To forgive. To forgive each and every moment as it occurs. To forgive each and every resentment that you carry. To forgive each and every thought that you have in your mind. Forgive it. Let it go. Don't hold on to it. If someone says something unkind to you, forgive in this moment. Let it go. Maybe you need to go back to them later and say, that was unkind. I felt this. And you've got a right to express yourself. But don't carry it. Don't carry the resentment. Because that will poison you and poison the world.
I remember watching a video of somebody who was interviewing Susan Sarandon. She'd been married for a long time. And they said to her, what's your secret for being married for so long and happily so? Or with her partner, and if she was married. And she said, she just sat back and she said, forgiveness. And it's over and over. It's not just once. It's forgiving every single minute of every day. If you're living with somebody, forgiving them and forgiving yourself all the time, ongoing. And as that thought comes in, that shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have done that. To just realize, oh, I've gone there, to bring it back. And just say, I'm letting that go. I don't need to carry it around. Because it's heavy. It's heavy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it makes us sick. And makes everybody else sick. It's amazing because that ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
I never know how to say it. You know the story probably. He was a psychiatrist, wasn't he? A psychologist. He went into a prison.
No. So the story behind the Ho'oponopono is we got to hear about it generally through most people through Joe Vitale. Joe Vitale was a teacher in The Secret. Yeah. And he taught that you have a certain intention, you take a certain action, and you have a certain outcome. I mean, he built up a multi-million-dollar business teaching that. And then he heard about a doctor in Hawaii who didn't seem to have the action part. The action part was missing. He seemed to have an intention, and then there was this miraculous outcome with no bridge of action in between. And so he actually went over to Hawaii, and he discovered the truth in the story. There was a hospital, and the hospital had a ward of criminally insane patients. And the staff morale was very low. The patients were very violent. They were on heavy medication, but they were still violent. When the staff went into the ward, they had to go in back to back, sort of protecting each other. And absenteeism was very high among the staff. People didn't want to come to work. Morale was very low. And what happened is that they heard about this Dr. Hugh Len. That's not his real name. He's got a long Hawaiian name, which I won't even begin to try and pronounce. And they knew of his reputation, and they invited him into the hospital. He said, I'll come there and I'll take up a post, but I don't want to see the patients. And because of his reputation, they did that. And he was also a kahuna, a sacred medicine man. And the story, to cut a long story short, is after a year, all the patients were released except one, which was transferred to another hospital. Now, he didn't see those patients, but what he did through this process of Ho'oponopono was that he recognized that the universe is built, and if there's a problem out there, I have it within me. And so what he did, he forgave himself, and as he forgave himself, the patient got better. This is a very deep teaching, and I normally only present it at the end of a 2 or 3 or 4 day workshop. But you can look it up on the internet, Ho'oponopono. It's a process of forgiveness where you recognize that there are no victims. And if you can see something, that perception is in yourself, and you take the log out of your eye, and more than often the other also heals. But the process of Ho'oponopono isn't to heal someone else. It's to heal yourself. It's to take that misperception out of your eye so that you can heal. All non-forgiveness is misperception. And it can be released in this moment through the process of releasing and letting go in this moment. You do not have to carry it anymore. Not at all. So do you want to just go through the questions? There are 4 processes in the Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, so it's I'm sorry.
The first one that I prefer to start with, you can start with I'm sorry, but I like I love you.
Okay. 'Cause I
So
usually
to me,
do
that sets a scene. Some people put that at the end, but I like to start with that statement, I love you, because that just sets, okay, that's the parameter. I love you. And once you set that tone, you are connecting with the other person in that. And then the next one.
I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you.
Yeah.
And you do it in different.
So the way I see that is I love you, just sets I am connected to you. And the next one is I'm sorry. I am recognizing that I'm part of the dance between the two of us. And the next one is please forgive me. It's a recognition that I can't do it, that I need to hand over to a higher power, which is what I spoke about in my earlier meditation. I hand this over to a higher power. And then once I handed it over, there's only one other sentence to say after that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So the 4 phrases are I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. That's the way I say it. You can mix those sentences around, but that makes the most sense to me. So forgiveness is the gift that you give to yourself to set yourself free. And we do it through the foundational perception that the universe is perfect. That we signed up for this dance, that we wrote our diary a long time ago and we chose actors to come in and play those roles so that we can balance something that needs to be balanced. And we can have a lot of questions around this, and please type up your questions and maybe we can address some of them on Wednesday, because this process of forgiveness requires a depth of spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, and it requires a huge willingness on us to release the past. We have to be willing to set ourselves free. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions you have. Type them up and maybe we'll have a look at them on Wednesday. What we'd like to do now, folks, is we'd like to go through an actual practical tool of forgiveness, of releasing. So Michelle is going to share that process through a guided visualization, and we can bring to mind those that we perceive of who have wronged us, and we can use this guided meditation now to release them.
And you can go deeper in your own time, but basically when I do it, just see who comes into your consciousness, into your awareness. You obviously won't have time to do a whole lot of people, but you can do it afterwards, one by one, when you feel ready. So just give you an idea. There's lots of ways of doing it.
We're going to just dull the lights. You might like to do the same, and we're going to settle back into our chairs. Just put that down. So, there we are there.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully you can still see us. We have a couple of candles here, and the light is a lot softer.
Okay, everybody. So just close your eyes gently. Take a nice deep breath in and a releasing breath out. And another nice deep breath in, and on the out breath, blow the breath out like you're blowing through a straw. And a third breath in, nice big belly breath in, all the way up to your chest. Fill it all up and out. Just sigh it out. And just connect with yourself. Connect with how you're feeling right now. Do a little bit of a body scan. Just get a sense of where you're at, what you're feeling in your body. And just imagine a beautiful white sparkling light coming in through the top of your head. And this light is going to wash away whatever you no longer need to hold. So imagine this light coming in through the top of your head and going all the way down your body. And as it goes down, just release and relax your body. So relax your head as it goes down. All the little muscles around your face, around your eyes, around your nose, around your mouth. Wash that light down through your neck, releasing the muscles on either side, making your neck, letting your neck just soften. Taking that light now all the way down through your shoulders. And as you do that, drop your shoulders. It's a really good way to relax. Drop your shoulders, put them back a little bit so that you open your heart. And bring that light all the way down through your arms, into your hands. You might feel tingling in your hands. That's your life force. Just acknowledge that. And then bring that light down all the way through your torso, front and back. Let it swish around all your organs and in between your vertebrae, and all your bones, all your muscles. Let it just relax and clean and cleanse. Take that light down into your hips, into your legs, down through your feet into the ground, and let it spread out like roots. This is a really good way to start a meditation because you feel supported, you feel connected above and below. So imagine that you're standing or you're sitting, and you've got this light coming in through the top of your head, going down through your feet, into the earth, holding you like roots. We give thanks that we're supported and protected, and we're able to receive, release, heal, and integrate whatever is appropriate today. And now just take your awareness and put it into your heart. And see if you can imagine breathing into your heart. Imagine as you breathe into your heart becomes softer and bigger and gentler. And as you hold your attention and intention there, just bring your awareness to the fact that each of us has hurt, betrayed, and harmed others. Whether that was knowingly or unknowingly, doesn't matter what we've done, but we've done our fair share. Somebody might be in therapy because of you. We've all had our moment. So you can just imagine, let those people that come into your awareness, drift into your awareness, one or two. You don't have to do the whole lot. Maybe one. Somebody that you know you have hurt by your words, by your actions. Bring them into your awareness, bring them into your heart. Open your heart. Pour that white light into your heart. Expand your heart. And ask for forgiveness. But ask from a place of love. So you start with, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And let them go. Let yourself off the other end of that hook that you might have been on. And now take your attention back to your heart again. Just as you've harmed, and we have all harmed and hurt and betrayed others, we've also harmed and hurt and betrayed ourselves. So connect with yourself, connect with your own heart. And bring an image of you into that heart of yours. Maybe an image of you as a younger person, as a child. Bring that child in. Picture that child right there in your heart. And open your heart to that child. Expand your heart. Find that compassion for that little being. And then transplant that small child with an older you. And once again, bring your attention back to your heart and repeat the words to yourself. And you might whisper your name here. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Breathe into your heart. Expand your heart some more. And just as we have hurt others and ourselves, we have also been hurt by others. Possibly out of their pain, their anger, their confusion. We don't necessarily have to know the reason. But we have got the ability to let it go. Put your hand gently on your heart. Whisper their name. Bring that person right into your heart. See if you can bring that compassion up, that love. I love you. You could whisper their name. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for my role, if there was one. Please forgive me. Thank you. Let's do that one again. Breathe into your heart. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And set the intention to release them and to release yourself. Bring your attention back to your heart and feel your hand holding your heart very gently with great compassion, acceptance, no judgment. And now allow that white light to continue flowing through you and release anything that you no longer need on the out breath. So bring your breath in, breathing in forgiveness, and out through the bottoms of your feet, anything that you want to release, resentment, frustration, doubt, regret. So breathing in forgiveness and love, and breathing out whatever no longer serves you through the bottoms of your feet. Reconnect with your heart. Breathe into your heart. And one last time, repeat the words to yourself with your name in front of them. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And you can rub your fingers together. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
That was lovely. Thank you, Michelle. That was really beautiful. Wasn't it lovely? How do you know you've reached the point of forgiveness? When there's nothing but gratitude in your heart for each and every moment of your life. Gratitude is the key emotion you feel after forgiveness. Just gratitude. The Course in Miracles says forgiveness is to reach the point of understanding that in truth there was nothing to forgive. We're starting something quite exciting on Tuesday, which we'd like to tell you about briefly before we go this evening. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we're starting our 12-week, well, it's actually 13-week online course, and it's going to be called The Journey to Freedom, and it's going to consist of live group, private group sessions.
On Zoom, not on Facebook.
Zoom, yeah, where there'll be questions and answers and online coaching, and there'll be a different theme every week. You'll have your own portal, which we put together some really amazing stuff, where there'll be journal exercises, there'll be inspirations, there'll be videos, there'll be meditations. We'll have a private Facebook group. So without going into too much detail, please go to our website, journeysofawakening.com. Check it out, and you can join us for the first week for free. So you can get an idea of whether you would like to join for the whole journey or not by doing the first week, and you'll benefit from the first week anyway, because there's a lot in it.
The first week is a foundation week, so we set the foundation for the following 12 weeks, the journey to freedom. If you have a look on my Facebook page, I think 2 posts down or 1 post down, you'll find the link to the website. You can just click on that and visit that. And if you find it beneficial, share it. Please share it.
Yeah, so we've got space. So if you'd like, we've got a lovely group starting. So it's going to be a really interesting 12 weeks, 13 weeks.
And the idea is to build up a community of like-minded people so that we can embed the forgiveness, the light, the love more onto earth. That's what the earth needs at the moment. And we need to do this work. It is work that we need to do. And the work always starts with us. We have to be the peace, the love, the joy that we want to see in the world. And this journey to freedom is a releasing process to allow you to become the light, the brilliant, the beautiful, sparkly light that you really are.
Yeah, have a look at the themes, because there's some really interesting themes. We're going to be working through some stuff and getting rid of the blockages. And if you really do want to shift, this is an opportunity to do that. And it's at half the price.
Yeah, we've got it going this time for half the price, but the first week is free anyway. Yeah. But just leave us your comments and your questions below. The affirmation card. Just hold on one moment. I'm going to just get the pack of cards. We're going to leave you with an affirmation that you can start to use to transform your awareness. Let me go and get them.
Hello, Claire. Thank you, Christine. So nice to have you here. I don't know who we lost when we went off the air there.
Right.
Okay, affirmation card coming up.
Affirmation card. So you
and that meditation that I did there, you can use that. Just do it as often as you need to do it. When you need to release somebody or forgive somebody.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So this Facebook Live will be available on the website. To continue, you can watch it again. You can share it, and then I also just drop it into YouTube, and you can share that as well. So do you want to choose a card for us tonight?
In this moment, right now, there is peace underneath my story.
So if we forgive the story, if we let go of the story, we find the peace. So I'll photograph this and put it onto the Journeys of Awakening group. We have a Journeys of Awakening WhatsApp group, and I'll post this onto there as well. So you can join that. If you go onto the website, journeysofawakening.com, there's the link to join that WhatsApp group. Thank you, bless you. Thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate your patience, particularly with the internet going down there, but thank you. And if you enjoyed this, tell your friends. Join journeysofawakening.com, particularly for the first week, and we'll see you otherwise on Wednesday night, where we're going to be looking at anxiety. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, John.
Nighty night. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Bless you all. Love you.